Modern social media feeds throw thousands of headlines at us every single day, specifically engineered to trigger an immediate emotional response. But when we try to figure out what's true and what's noise, we usually reach for the wrong tools. Using an outdated method to verify a fast-moving timeline leaves you just as vulnerable as not checking the facts at all. If you took a research class in the last 20 years, you were probably taught the CRAAP test. CRAAP stands for currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. It was designed to help students evaluate static resources in quiet academic spaces. Try applying that to a breaking news story on social media. The test asks you to look for deep credentials and peer-reviewed support. For an event that happened 20 minutes ago, that evidence simply doesn't exist yet. You end up spending hours looking for a scholarly consensus. By the time you finally verify the details of the story, the news cycle has already moved on to the next crisis. To navigate modern media, we need a structural lens built specifically for the news. We need the smart check, and we need to pair it with active web-native verification techniques. The smart check stands for scope, motivation, authority, relevancy, and timely. It is a framework explicitly designed to help you evaluate journalism and fast-moving news media. This matrix shows the criteria for both tests side by side. You can see exactly where the academic CRAAP test overlaps with the news-focused smart check and where they branch apart. Look at the center overlap, authority and accuracy. Both frameworks require you to find out who created the content and whether their core facts are correct. But the execution is different. The CRAAP test asks you to find a credentialed scholar. The smart check asks you to evaluate a journalist's integrity and whether they are relying on credible, non-academic experts who were actually on the ground. Now look at the right flank. SMART replaces the basic concept of purpose with scope and motivation. Scope asks if the article actually covers the subject with enough detail to be useful. Motivation forces you to figure out why the piece was published in the first place. Is the author trying to inform you, sell you an idea, or persuade you to vote a certain way? The smart check gives you the precise questions to ask about a publication's bias. But to actually answer them, you can't just stare at the article. You have to leave the page entirely. If you rely only on what a website says about itself, you will get played. A publisher with a clear political or financial agenda will never admit to those vested interests on their own About Us page. To power the SMART framework, you need the SIFT method. Developed by digital literacy expert Mike Caulfield, SIFT provides the actual mechanical steps you need to analyze online media. This flowchart shows a technique called lateral reading, which makes up the I in SIFT. Investigate the source. Instead of scrolling vertically through the article, you open new browser tabs and search horizontally. You check Wikipedia or established news sites to see what external, trusted voices say about the publisher. By looking at what others say about the source, you quickly uncover hidden biases, institutional funding, or a track record of retracted claims that the publisher tried to bury. Cautionary: this takes deliberate effort. Lateral reading breaks your normal flow of scrolling and demands an extra 2 or 3 minutes of active searching for every article you read. That minor friction is the price of entry. It is the only reliable way to break out of algorithmic echo chambers and confirm the true motivation behind the media you consume. Once you know the source is generally reliable, you still have to verify the specific claims in the article. Your first line of defense is checking if nonpartisan fact-checkers, like PolitiFact or the Washington Post fact-checker, have already investigated the story. If the fact-checkers haven't gotten to it yet, you move to the T in SIFT. Trace claims, quotes, and media back to their original context. This means actively clicking through the embedded hyperlinks in the article. You follow the chain until you locate the original research abstract or the unedited video feed. By doing this, you bypass the journalist's spin entirely. You can look directly at the primary source and see if a sensationalized quote was taken out of context or if the data actually supports the headline. Make no mistake, this is a tedious process. Parsing primary data and reading academic abstracts takes significant cognitive effort, but that effort strips away the editorial bias. It turns you from a passive consumer into an active investigator, getting you the highest possible confidence in the accuracy of the information. There's no single perfect way to fact-check the internet. Your tool must match the medium you're reading and the stakes of your decision. We can break this down into 3 contexts: the deep dive researcher, the engaged news consumer, and the social media scroller. This decision tree maps the approach. Deep dive researchers doing high-stakes work use the CRAAP test for exhaustive verification. Engaged news consumers combine the SMART check with lateral reading for balanced skepticism. And social media scrollers rely on the first step of SIFT, stop. Headlines are designed to make you angry or fearful, so you click and share. Recognizing that emotional manipulation and simply stopping before you repost prevents the immediate amplification of falsehoods, even if you don't have time to uncover the whole truth. Truth requires friction. Choose the framework that matches your available time. Put in the active effort to look past the headline and make your decisions from a foundation of verified facts.